Hello again, Dominic and welcome to another video. And this one is actually about a video game related video, and is another video about the Earthbound / Mother series. Now, I'll give you a quick introduction, just in case you don't know. Now, Earthbound, or Mother as it's known in Japan, is a Nintendo JRPG IP, which started all the way back in July 1989, and the last one, well, the current one, if you want to say that, was released in April 2006. There are actually 3 games in the franchise. The first one was released in Japan on the Famicom in 1989, was planned to be released outside of Japan, mainly in America, around 1990-1991, known as Earthbound, 2 separate words. But it didn't happen due to the fact the Super Nintendo was coming out. So the whole thing was scrapped, and the second one was released as Mother 2 in Japan in 1994, and in America in 1995 as Earthbound. Was never released in Europe until obviously the later re-releases, and then obviously the third one went through 12 years of development hell on different systems. The Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64 disc drive, which obviously was a disc drive add-on for the Nintendo 64, then moved to the Nintendo 64, due to then, unfortunately, because of its heyday coming out, coming to its twilight years, around 2000, the whole game was scrapped, and then in 2003 it was announced that Mother 3 was coming, and then obviously released in 2006. So that's just a quick introduction, just in case you don't know. Now, obviously this video is about why I think an official Mother 4 should not happen. Now, before I start this, I do know that there is a fan-made Mother 4 happening, and I think it started around like 2010 and still is in production. So I do know that, so just in case you've wondered, there you go. Now, the reason my point is it good that that an official Mother 4 game will not be happening? Now, I do agree with this because the Mother / Earthbound series is one of those franchises that is very unique. I think for what Nintendo and Shigesato Itoi did alongside Satoru Iwata, they produced one of the best franchises ever made by Nintendo. I know you got all your Marios and Zeldas, you have also Metroid, you also have like spin-off games and all that stuff, but Earthbound is one of those franchises that is really, really good. And I think that an official Mother 4 should never ever happen, because Itoi's idea and concept of this franchise was that it was going to be a trilogy. Now, there are lots of other franchises that have done this, but they've gone past, the third one. The most notable, obviously, is Halo. Now, I've played a lot of Halo games, but I'm not a huge fan of them, so I like them, but I'm not like a crazy, crazy fan of them. But I will have to try and get back into the franchise sometime. But that actually went past the third one, and I think they're on Halo 5 now, obviously, and then I think they're planning Halo 6. But sometimes when they get past the trilogy and go to like the 4th or 5th, it feels like they are basically making the franchise, terrible after the third one, And I think with that, doing that, it can put the franchise into a bit of a bad state. And I think if that ever happened, a lot of people would not like it. Now, this, obviously the franchise is that lots of people really want an official Mother 4 to happen. But if it was planned to be a trilogy, it's going to stay as a trilogy. And I do agree that if it ever happened, that the 4th one happened, people would end up wanting more. And I think that's the problem, because if Itoi made a Mother 4, fans would keep saying, well, we want a Mother 5, we want a Mother 6, and so on and so forth. And I think if that happens, then it basically makes the franchise a bit bad, because basically you're only in there for cash-ins. You're basically cashing in the franchise. Now, there are games I'd love to see sequels. One I'd love to see, and if you've watched my videos for a while, is Choo Choo Rocket. Now, I love Choo Choo Rocket, and I'd love to see a sequel to that game. But if Sega actually made a Choo Choo Rocket 2, then I would keep saying, well, we need a Choo Choo Rocket 3, Choo Choo Rocket 4, and so on and so forth. That'd be the same thing. Obviously, Choo Choo Rocket's not like a franchise or anything, it's just like a party game, but it's a good game. But if that ever happened, I would keep wanting more and more and more, and that's when I think it gets old after a while. That's just the thing. You'd actually need more new things into it, and I think that's a shame. But I wouldn't want to see this franchise getting cash-ins every year or whatever. But that's just how it is. If a franchise became like that you love so much, you would end up focusing on the classic games instead of like the new ones, and that's just the basic thing. But I think it's good that Toei has only made the 3 games, and I think it should stay like that because they are perfect games. Any way you play them, they are perfect. You know, playing Mother, then playing the second one, then playing the third one. They're just masterpieces. You know, that's the thing. It's a huge masterpiece of a great franchise. And I think if that ever happened, it would basically ruin it. And that's just it. I know people want to see a Mother 4, an official one, sorry, but it's never going to happen. And I'm sorry to say that, but it's the truth. But at least, as I said before, at least we've got the fan-made Mother 4 game coming out, which is still pretty good, but people might end up wanting a Mother 5, you know, we just don't know. Or Earthbound 4, as it would be called. But, you know, that's the thing, is that most franchises need to stop at a trilogy and then continue on a whole new saga. For example, with just trying to think what franchise it was. Mass Effect. Now, I like Mass Effect. I played all 3 games on the Xbox 360, and I played the third one on the Wii U, and they are really, really good games. And with the whole new Mass Effect game coming out, Andromeda it's called, it's supposed to be a whole new saga. It's not part of the trilogy, and I'm very glad that they're doing that, because if they did that, you know, people would get sick and tired of it, and you know, that's just how people are. That a lot of franchises are basically cash-ins, and you know, it's awful. Even in films, there's so many great films out there that have got 3 films, and then afterwards they end up make a mistake, the 4th and 5th and 6th or whatever, and they end up feel like cash-ins, and you know, that's the thing about it. That's just how media and production works. So it is. But apart from that, I'd just like to say I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope you look forward to my upcoming future videos as well. See you later. Bye.